Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous and our Mage Awakening Chronicle Into the West. We return back to Petrichor and Jesse. Jesse and Petrichor, kind of the same person, sort of player and character. Thank you for joining us. I immediately have a whiny cat, so come here. Perfect, thank you. Chrono, join me as we read all the names of our lovely Patreon members who support and assist us monetarily. Chrono, you're going to have to scroll the wheel here. Thank you to 1D4 Con James, Adele, Alis, Alexander, Alstred, Alu, Bernie. Oh, this is not working. Bye. Chris, Doc, Emil, Jeff, George, Cat Feathers, Klaus, Meteor V, Bunny, Milo V3, Moku, Mozart D minor, Nick, Other Guy, Perry, Foog, Polkadot, Hubris, Puppeteer, Riafio, Shexar, Starfish, Terran, The Nowhere King, This Is Hype, Thomas, Tom, Verhex, and Vortex. Thank you all so much for your support. No thanks to Chrono. Bye, bud.
Later, dude.
When we last left, Petrichor had seized? No, reclaimed the Tempest, threw down a challenge and took on anybody who wanted to throw down. One group said, maybe not. Somebody else said, oh, I'll take that challenge, and fell. And the last pair said, you know what? Not worth it. Had the storm. We're still in the legacy. We're out. Might be some trouble down the line, but dealt with the major claimants to the throne, so to speak. And even amongst the Diamond Order and Nameless Order groups that might make a move, word had already started to get around of, I'm the mother of storms. This is mine.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. I don't feel like Petrichor put down any kind of, hey, this is mine and y'all have to follow my rules to them.
Nope.
But there's...
Explicitly didn't.
Right, yeah. There's some implications, but anybody who saw what happened could expect what might happen if they rub Petrichor the wrong way. And again, we've had a decade of Petrichor being a member of the Tempest Army. A lot of folks know who she is. And if anybody were to have something to say, they probably would have said it, and probably have said it before now. At this point, Petrichor is an established member, and loud voice, I guess not really leadership. So, but yeah. And then returned home after a week away to spend some time with the family. Because a week during which, you were away in Boston, meeting with some folks, working. Some of it was social work, but social work, so being social.
Of a social variety.
Yeah, there you go. But at the same time, had also put out I'm going to throw down in 7 days. Anybody could have come to find you, which in retrospect, I literally shower thoughts. I was like, actually, that was really smart to not go back to Purgatory Bluff because A, that's where family is. But B, being here actually makes you an available target. It doesn't encourage anybody to kind of loophole or worm their way into Purgatory Bluff. Yeah, come fight me here in Boston with a bunch of my adamantine arrow allies. So yeah, I think that works out really well. So we pick up the following morning. I imagine maybe even not morning, but afternoon. Had some time in the morning. Kids are being run off towards school. Jules has, various tasks, apothecary type work, the more above,
my boy be mixing.
Yeah, above board kind of stuff, rather than the spooky, secretive late night stuff that still causes some askance glances. But what are you gonna do? Say, hey, I think the husband of the sheriff might be up to witch stuff, sorcery. Yeah,
Doesn't seem likely.
no, not in Purgatory Bluff.
Not really a plausible story, you know what I mean?
No. Also, having that moment of, you think that your billionaire boss is Batman and you're going to try and blackmail him? Good luck. Yeah. But yes, Petrichor has some tendrils to find connection points of the God Machine, as folks at home have just now started to see those episodes. She said the thing. She said the thing. I was very amused. Yes.
I just wanted to say one thing about the recap, and that's that the Seer members of the Legacy better be glad this bitch never learned Prime.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because if I was working my way towards Prime Archmastery 2, they'd be 7 dotted, so to speak. You know what I mean?
The excision aspect of it. Yeah, be like,
run out.
You are no longer Tempestari. There's a small enough number of them there. Probably could have targeted just about everybody who showed. Yep.
Doable spell.
Yeah, roll in. What's this in my pocket? This handy little quintessence that says, get out.
Fuck you, untempest, you're sorry.
Well done. Yeah, so how do we see her going about this?
I think she goes about her. I feel like I'm really blurry, by the way.
About the same as last week.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll figure it out later. Anyways, sorry, ADHD brain. I think she goes about her day and just walks around, talks to people, stuff like that. But in her head, she's just blasting divination spells.
Mm-hmm.
About am I likely to find these connection points in this area of the country? Is it better to approach in the shadow itself, or to track down a location and then cross over? That sort of thing.
I gotcha. The short answer, especially, divination is just yes or no questions. Technically, with the reach, you can get the reach, little bit more. But even just going off of yes or no questions, you can start doing the let me cut this in half. Okay, let me cut it in half again. Working your way down, segment by segment of where should I look? How should I do this? And the short answer is, yeah, you got to go into the shadow, because that was Petrichor's test, anyways. And it doesn't surprise either Jesse or Petrichor that it's not going to be in the normal shadow. It's very likely to be in places that are not, things that are kind of tucked away, that people walking about and deciding to step into the shadow. Those werewolves, they do weird stuff, are unlikely to just suddenly pop in and be in the middle of something. And on the flip side, have less of an effect on the other side of the gauntlet, because they don't have that one-to-one connection.
Right. Okay. Well, then she probably goes about her day, and then come nightfall, just kind of walks up into the hills and pops to the other side.
Okay. Takes this guy, or do you have some other method for searching?
Yeah, I should probably just fly.
Gotcha.
It would take something extremely powerful and stupid to fuck with her at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, because effectively you are cruising around at is it equal to your
Rank
rank?
rank 6, yeah.
Yeah, so you are a rank 6 spirit cruising around. Stuff gives way. You know, what used to be a large jet flying around the shadow has now become a B-2 bomber. And everyone is like, no. The deviation of pathways, even looking down below, you can see some of the oceans of waves of grain parting to leave just bare rock as just grass, and the rank 0 moats are just like, nope, getting out of the way. Just do not want to be in the general path of that, which I imagine, obviously, the shadow is not the same as the astral, but I feel like the resonance of storm just follows behind Petrichor, because she is the calm before the storm. So wherever she goes, there's just this little bit of darkness, this little bit of cloudiness, just because weird shit happens when you become an archmage.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you head any particular place, or
I think she casts some divination spells while spinning in a circle and picks a good direction.
I really like the idea of that, especially because, like, for her, time is kind of new. She's had it for a bit.
She's gotten better at it, but she hasn't used it a ton.
It's been something she studied, but hasn't had a practical need for it.
Right.
And now just going, all right, tell me when, as she spins. Also, the idea of her spinning and just there being a little tornado effect, obviously, is required. I really like this is some straight up acanthus shit of just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna let luck, I'm just gonna stumble into it, relying more on the time aspect of this than fate, but still. So I will jump us forward here a little bit, as a combination of divination for questions and then a little bit of green light, red light, so things just move smooth. Not, again, that you're really going to have too much of a problem in the shadow because flex, but I believe
It also does, like, anything that doesn't, like, immediately part, she does, like, set down and, like, ask questions of and stuff.
Gotcha.
But it's more just, like, bigger things that might have traveled or have,
especially
duties in a court and stuff like that.
I was just saying, because a lot of the
areas and stuff,
bigger stuff, higher rank stuff, is going to be physically larger, but B, also have that influence and connection, because she is rank 6, but her court is on the material side, the flesh side, and is kind of limited to Purgatory Bluff and the surrounding area. I like that. So we jump forward just a bit and reviewing everything that you had in your time, I almost said quiver, holster. And we pick up with Petrichor having spent a couple hours, aided fortunately by time, towards what we would recognize as the Grand Canyon. It's been a bit of a flight, but again, shadow and the material are not one-to-one, and the Grand Canyon is a big boy, especially on the shadow side. This is a rank 5, and very, very sedentary, very, very
Did you say sedimentary?
sure. I was trying to figure out how the way to describe something that looks quite empty, because that is the kind of defining feature of a canyon, but is also corpulent. No, corpulent has a very negative term. One might say robust, Santa Claus-esque almost.
Hefty.
Hefty, sure. But yeah, this spirit is in the form of a oh, what do I can envision it. Can you guys also see the thing in my head? It is a twisting shape, less of like where a lot of stuff is rock or river or anything like that. The Grand Canyon, because of its nature of being kind of the empty space where these things are, for those of us who are into Stormlight Archives, think of what a cryptid looks like on a surface, right? It is the shape, and then it is appearing on whatever surfaces and objects and terrain that it is moving across. So from Petrichor's perspective, she is looking at the striations of the Grand Canyon, one big wall of it, and then embossed and shifting on the crags and edges and all this kind of stuff is the shape of a large, laughing, jubilant man. Because the Grand Canyon, obviously it can be quite dangerous, not to downplay that. It is a beautiful sight. It is a happy sight. It is cool to look at. It doesn't have some of the super negative connotations other places might have, like, I don't know, Death Valley, or some of these places where CO2 sits and just kills everybody who decides that they want to climb into that cave. Grand Canyon's kind of cool. Sure. And it is full of life. It has the Colorado River? Pretty sure it's Colorado River running through it. It has a lot of, for where it's at, greenery down through there, shrub really, but and here on the shadow side, it is amped up. The space that I guess Petrichor probably didn't land, but is just floating quite effortlessly above is like somebody crossed a desert with a jungle, and the fact that it is desert life just teeming across, loads of enormous centipedes, other, scorpions, giant jackrabbits, jackalopes, absolutely. Look them up, they're real. That's a US joke. Anyways, and yeah, the canyon speaks with a good grady, rocky, gravelly kind of voice, because of course it does, and picks up where it had been saying there has been oddities moving through and beyond me. There is a place, and kind of gestures within the rock, and this hand kind of extends out from the wall towards basically the far end of the canyon, where it starts to like extend back out into the open, and it moves away from being a canyon, and there's a hole there that doesn't look quite natural, so much as there's something perhaps wrong with the transition from canyon out towards more of the plains and desert. And says that has been here since the wolves watched the march and the border. And there are things within that are not of my court, things that scuttle in and out, those like you, or what did it say? The two formed ones, the shapeshifters, they move in and out of it furtively, trying to avoid one another. They've done this for a long time, but has been more active in years past. I don't know if this is what you seek. And Petrichor is like, well, I cast a lot of spells that took me here. But
it seems an unlikely coincidence that it would be something different, brother.
It kind of perks up at being called brother, because like that's effective, he's a big old spirit, but that's like, the older sister, being like, oh pal, my little brother. Says the giant, how deep is the Grand Canyon? It's like, yeah,
big
spirit on the wall.
Thank you for giving a place for the waters that follow me to run.
Oh, well, thank you for giving birth to me then, of sorts.
Of sorts.
And kind of gestures up towards the skies and clouds and stuff like that. You gave birth to me, so it works both ways.
The water from the air and the water from the earth, both.
And it kind of gestures and moves along the wall down across the river and towards that transition. And nope, I had a visual in my mind, and that would but moves over to the edge of what is clearly, like, just because of the nature of the shadow, it starts to blend into the rest and just stops beside the dark space. And imagining Petrichor is following, it is a dark space. Light is not dropping into it. There's no sense of like moving into a cave. It's honestly, it's like something that Legba might do, where he just went zip, and now it is just this emptiness. It's not even like.
Is it like spirit based?
Yeah, this definitely feels like it is a natural thing within the shadow. It feels like some of the other places that are not, that you have come across, but never has it been so like blatantly obvious. From Petrichor's perspective, it's not even a black space. We might even recognize it as like static, right? It's this thing that you can look. It's that fuzz that you from a bad migraine or headache, where it's just like there's something there, but you can't really look at it, and it's all the other places that are not from Petrichor's experience have been just places that you just keep walking, and now you're in a place and it doesn't line up one to one. This seems to be like a hole in the shadow.
Cool. I think she I'm gonna say she just whips ass and flies straight into it, but I don't know how big it is.
It's 20 feet high. Like this is a large, like you don't miss it if you're looking for it, but if you just sweep your eye over it, it almost blends in because that whole white noise vibe.
flies toward it, but not like a dive in full speed and
Right.
stuff.
Just the graceful float towards, and the Grand Canyon, for lack of a better name, just kind of tilts, and the head kind of comes out of the wall a little bit as if trying to look in, but there is some definite like apprehension, yeah, and just a big rumbly good luck, and then it pulls back into the wall and kind of draws away from the space. As you pass through, there is a bit of resistance, like a membrane of almost mana or essence, maybe. Everything here, I guess, is made of essence, but there's something draped across it, more substantial than a spider web, but about that just dents a little bit and then lets her pass through. We'll lean into even cell membrane kind of thing, something that is a barrier, but it's not really trying to stop anything that wants to pass through. And you step into a place that looks murky and fuzzy, and like dark kind of mirror of the shadow. But there's some aspects of it that feel more akin to the prime. And I will not ask you to roll the occult roll, but you're pretty sure you're in the gauntlet.
Interesting. Okay.
And to clarify what you are looking at, you are looking as if you had stepped through the other way, and now we're looking at the shadow fuzz of the Grand Canyon. Just, I guess, the third version of it that you've seen today, if we count the material side, something that's a little of both.
Interesting. So you're saying I'm like inside of the gauntlet?
The barrier that was built out of the border march.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Are there any like spirits here or things going on, or
that would be the thing that makes you like, well, this feels like the material, because you don't see spirits. You don't even have that, like, this stuff is made out of essence that you have on the shadow side. So not quite. But as you're like pausing and kind of taking in your surroundings, you've got dirt, you've got plant life that looks material. It's not tied to a spirit, and kind of scoping the place out. And then you see a little spirit, like hunched over, like fox or something like that. Smaller than a coyote. Some kind of little furred little predator thing with a little bit more of a hunch than on all fours, kind of the way we describe, or a really, really large squirrel, maybe.
just flies over towards it?
It runs. It runs real fast.
She attempts to catch it.
Okay.
As does an eagle a prey.
I like it. Give me an athletics roll. And we're literally just using the number of successes here to determine how quickly you catch it. 3 successes would be you catch it very, very quickly. Down to 0, it takes you a minute. And yeah, just give me 3. Sure, that works. Yeah. Swooping in.
Thanks for telling me what I needed to roll.
Yeah. Just let me hack the roll 20 real quick. Yeah, swoop down and catch it, and more of a bear hug kind of thing than a hand grab thing. And it makes squeaking sounds and then switches to the first tongue, which I believe Petrichor actually learned. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
And it begins saying very insulting things about your mother, your heritage, your bloodline, and then kind of stops, and in my head you have grabbed it from behind and like brought it down to the ground, and it's kind of cursing and mumbling, and then turns over and looks over its shoulder at you and looks around and looks over its shoulder and goes, "Not a wolf?" in first tongue. So you're not going to eat me?
Plan to. And she like brings her wings down as like a shield around them.
the herons that
Yeah.
And like it tenses because all of a sudden everything's getting a little bit darker. Okay.
What is this place?
It's what's left of the world
From before?
from before everything broke. Yeah.
Long ago.
Wasn't that long ago. Just for Jesse's perspective, this is very different sets of time scales.
Yeah. Were you around when it broke?
I'm still around.
Would you show me?
Show you around?
Show me what it was like when the world broke.
And
then she's going to reach out and touch this thing. Well, she's already got hold on it, right? So, but I'm hoping that the different sort of scales of time will help me here. And gonna cast isn't there like thought there was one where you can pull forward like a temporal summoning. Yeah.
Oh, so to pull it from an earlier time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Yeah, only unchanged pasts can be brought to the present.
If you don't have any temporal sympathy, but you have
I see.
I
see. Yeah.
You would need something that represents way back then.
Is the surrounding environment not?
You could definitely find a good rock. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, are you unchanged from then? Yep. Got to find like a big one that doesn't look like it's been eroded. But yeah. Um, yeah, ballpark. You got about 65 million years to pull from here.
She would know, having been there,
It's true.
when it was
Yeah.
relative to now, right?
Yeah.
So she'd have a pretty good ballpark that, okay, if that was how long it took to form a thunderstorm, then like that's probably about right.
Yep. I like that. It's like you have the entire age of the globe to pull from, but how about we aim towards when I made a thunderstorm for the first time? Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good spot to aim for.
Yep.
And you pull forth. Actually, hang on, because you're wanting to get what it looked like back then.
I think she would just do the area
Okay, I
and
like
like
that.
including things that are in it, right?
And using him as a tour guide.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, yeah. The surrounding area shifts dramatically in the fact that like trees and some other detritus just disappear, rocks shift and move position. Using this on a location is definitely not what this book is, the guide is written for, so I'm having to imagine what this does to an area. But I imagine, yeah, it's shifting whatever is available into place. So there's some Jenga gravity defying rocks that have like, oh yeah, we used to look like this, and the stuff that eroded away is just not here. So you have a little bit of this abstract picture. But as these,
I mean, wouldn't it reform? Like in the thing it talks about restoring ancient ruins to their inhabited state and stuff like that.
oh,
So
it sure does. Hey, yeah, okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, returns ruins. Yeah, okay. Sure, it is right in there. Okay. Yeah. You definitely get the like. This is what it looked like. Well, probably not when dinosaurs roamed the globe, but so a shift back, and you've also elevated quite a bit because you're standing down at the bottom
Mm-hmm.
of the Grand Canyon, and you raise up, pulling along your little buddy, who is making all sorts of shrieks of terror. And then as like everything stops and settles back to what it used to be, and from your perspective here, you can see the edge of your spell because
Mm-hmm.
it goes out and then drops. And it's looking around kind of nervously. You've still got that grip on him, and he goes, "This that this does look closer." What do you? What are
So what
you?
has happened? I'm a traveler. And I'm looking for something that I believe to be here, but I don't know when it got here.
Well, lots of things in here somewhere. It's a large place, but not a lot of. I'm trying to think. It uses a term in first tongue that you understand represents thinking things, right?
Mm.
Because there's dirt and rocks and trees here, but those aren't spirit, right? Then
Mhm.
there's it, which is
Right.
an animal of some form, and you're starting to. Well, actually, you're pre-evolution. We're pre-Darwin. It's just some extinct species.
Sure.
Um, but the spirit of it, but also it feels quite corporeal.
Right.
But what kind of thing are you looking for?
Um, an anchor to another place, or a thing, and I think she struggles to find the right word for it.
Yeah. Um, it points over towards where you'd come in and says that 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 holds to another place.
Sure, but I just came from there.
You want another one?
I'll take as many places as I can get. I am a traveler, after all.
Kind of looks up at your wings, looks down at his little paws. You travel easier than I do. Well, there's a couple. Holds up little fingers and there's like this many because I
It thumps it on the ground a number of times.
yeah, I like that. Uh, uh, that that I have seen, but they're all like that.
Okay. And they go off from here?
Back to where you came from.
I see. And are there others that come here? Anything like me?
Oh, well, sort of like you. No wings.
Sure.
Yeah, others come through a lot.
Where do they go?
You still got like that grip on him, right?
Mhm.
It kind of gives a little squirm. Quid pro quo Clarice, like give me a little room here.
She pulls the wings up, but doesn't like let him go.
Okay. Kind of like squirms a bit more and goes away. I can show you.
Sure. And she grabs him by like the scruff and takes to the air.
More terrible comments about your parentage. It's surprising how much vocabulary there is of that in the first tongue.
She just like shakes him a little bit and says, "Keep the comments to my father's side."
Beautiful. Love that. Absolutely. It goes absolutely dead silent for a second and then begins cursing out your father's side. And like squirming and kicking. And like, then there's that sudden realization of, wait, no. I do not want to squirm out of this grip now because I am flying, and just like does the limp kitten thing where it's like, yep, you have me. And just dangling. But as you get like, and I'm imagining like almost straight airborne, right? And you can see the pillar of ancient Grand Canyon. And then you thump up against what feels like a smooth, impossibly smooth ceiling. And you thump up against it, your wings splay against it, and you have this awkward like come down moment. Looking up, you have found the roof of the world.
I see.
But you have a really, really good vantage point from up here. It's still, I almost said a mile up, but that would be way up. Yeah, like
a few hundred feet.
Yeah. I was like, I got to translate. How big is a skyscraper? Yeah, a skyscraper or so.
Sure.
Actually, yeah, Burj Khalifa, however tall that is, that's about right because I've seen a couple aerial viewpoints from that. Yeah, so you can see.
It's like 1,000 feet.
Yeah, you can see a good distance, and as it continues to dangle in your hand, and then kind of points and goes there, and just like wiggly little hands pointing out, and from your vantage point, you can see camp, village, maybe like what looks like across this big empty expanse of terrain, an actual like little village, like couple maybe like cabins, large tents, fairly large little space, and say many go there.
Thank you so much. And then she's gonna cast a spell to lighten his gravity
Oh.
and just let him go.
The comments of your mother's side come back as he falls.
He's just falling so slow.
Yeah. I was like, still mad, but okay, maybe I'll hit the ground okay. And imagine also dismissing your pillar of ancient Grand Canyon.
Then she'll just swoop down directly at the camp.
Cool. So you land confidently into a camp of werewolves.
Hello.
All of them snap their head up and look at you. They all appear to be in modern attire. The ones that are clothed. There are some who are in like Dalu form and are, kind of
beefy boys.
Who appear less dressed, very like intentionally, like I have removed my shirt, and are like working at like building another cabin, and are basically less dressed, and also definitely don't have much care for modesty, we'll say, across either gender, and like it's just like, oh, I'm going to be big and huge and not fit in my normal human clothes, all right, just yeah. And they look over at you, and like it is, yeah, I guess we'll say pandemonium, as several scramble for long rifles and pistols, and the Dalu form are rushing towards you. And I imagine Petrichor, actually go ahead and give me a roll here. I think this is going to be straight up resolve plus composure at like maybe -2. Because A, it's a bunch of werewolves, and B, these folks, this looks like what killed. Oh yeah, nicely done. Spent the willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm curious. Did the willpower get you one of your successes? Okay. Yeah. Yep. These are also the same kind of things, sort of, as we know, that killed your first husband.
I see.
Yep. And with 2 successes, I think Petrichor is just like, okay, like who gets here first? Cool. I'm ready to throw down.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and that initial rush for weapons, the Dalu coming at you, and Petrichor just kind of holding her stance, and just kind of there's that slide of massive Dalu who are like, she's not even flinching, and they're like, okay, hold up. who are you? as the shift of like, okay, jump them becomes, wait, there's a lot of ballsiness to this move and a lot of confidence. It's like, okay, before we throw down. And then one of them goes, oh man, what is I had it and then I went looking at time stuff.
The killing form?
No. One of them verbalizes about your rank effectively, and calls you out as the werewolves do, and I can't remember.
Behemoth or something like that.
Something like that. Celestines?
Maybe.
Um,
It's been a minute since I did anything werewolf.
yeah. Incarnate. Yeah, Celestine would be the next step up, but yeah, Incarnate. And several of them look over to, well, the folks who are prepared for range combat look over to whoever had spoken. The Dalu are still like staring you down, and you can see Jesse would recognize the weighing of, do I go Ratha? No. Rahu form. Am I ready to throw down? Or you know, what is this? And yeah, the spirit walker. Man, I can't remember any of the aspects. Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of, and like is looking down a rifle at you, but it's like tilted off from the sights to like get a better picture of you, still rifle held, and pulls it back and goes in more of an Irish accent. Goes, okay, what the fuck are you?
A traveler in First Tongue.
Oh, your accent isn't even bad.
Thank you.
Does a traveler have a name?
She growls out like a rough translation of Petrichor, Mother of Storms.
Petrichor. I don't know that one in my lore, but welcome.
Thank you.
Like, they're recognizing that there is a rank 6 spirit here, but it is very, very clearly human and does not smell like werewolf. And so you get the joy of a pack of werewolves having the mage moment of, you do not fit into the nice category boxes. What are you? And like he kind of waves at everybody to kind of step back. It's like, okay, well, let's give Petrichor some room and she can explain what she is doing here, what she needs of us.
I'm investigating places that are not to find hidden things, connections to something that my enemies are building.
There's some polite laughter at the idea of you're searching for a place that is not, and your new friend continues as, well, this place is definitely not.
Place that used to be, perhaps.
It and still is. It's a section of the border marches that never went away.
A good place for your home, then, from what I've learned of you from other spirits?
Well, this kind of motions around. This isn't really a home.
I see.
More of a...
You're also travelers?
And like the embarrassment, more like a study. We're... And somebody says, it's an archaeological dig.
Oh.
But
how fabulous.
For us.
Hmm. Yes, that makes sense. I'll confess to not being the most learned of this sort of thing, but
So you are looking for places that aren't. You found yourself to a chunk of border march, and you're looking for what here?
connections to a new place, a machine.
And especially in first tongue, right? I'm sure that has
Yeah,
a
it sounds
very,
gross.
yeah. Because I mean, there are spirits of machines, but they're a new thing, and
Yeah,
nobody knows what to do with them. And yeah,
it's like almost a loan word.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
And all of them kind of make that disgusted face. It's a thing that everybody's getting used to, and okay, we're accepting that it exists, but we don't know
you
how
guys
we
have
feel about
guns,
it.
so like,
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, but that's one thing, and then
yeah,
you get into industrial revolution and
right,
factory, right?
yeah,
And they kind of nod, and they some like recognition in their eyes. We've seen some of those.
yeah.
And like, let us all relax and sit and talk.
Great.
And so some of them start to draw back, and some of the Dalu continue working on building, but you can see in their stance, they got an ear turned. Well, not literally, but they've got the head turned. As they work, others go back to lounging. You see a couple guys who are clearly playing cards. Like, you definitely stepped into probably what Purgatory Bluff looked like early before
Hmm. Hmm.
our folks' arrival, where it's just kind of getting some ground set up. And your friend kind of invites you over to the fire, which we are getting into later November, and it's starting to need a little bit of a warming. As I realized, I had a wonderful, fantastical name, but you know what? Let's just find a more Irish name. Um, and your buddy Aiden uh, motions, and you like he says it, and it's very much of like that's not the name you really go by, but
Hmm.
it's the name he gives you. Um, and sits by the fire and like pulls up a like gnarled like a chunk of a tree trunk that has clearly been used as a sitting place and a place to chop wood and a number of other stuff, and definitely is not native to anywhere around here. So it's like come with them,
Hmm.
and kind of rolls it over towards you to adjust and sit however you want, as he kind of pops into more of a just like casual Slav squat, right? Just kind of crouched down, very, very feral looking, but at
Hmm.
this, like at the same time, kind of makes sense. And he looks quite comfortable and says, "So, what do you care for this machine and this connection to it?
What do I care?
Yeah, do you like it?
No,
Do you want to take it from them? Are you fighting them over it? What why do you seek it?"
I wish to prevent it.
No, it's already there.
No, it's not done.
Oh, the machine is not done.
Yes.
Interesting. We have seen something like what you were describing, a connection, a locus that reaches somewhere else, and the did they say resonance? I can't remember. Yeah, they deal with resonance. The flavor of it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Not just metallic, but something worse.
Acrid.
That's a good description. Poor, poisonous, foul.
Great. I would agree.
The ones who build it, though. And like you could see we have to have the awkward conversation now.
You're working for them?
Kind of, it's just this very subtle, like, yeah, I'm probably not supposed to really be talking about that, but yeah.
A little bit of, hey, do you mind guarding this while you're working here?
Oh, no. And like motions at the camp. This is at their behest. It benefits us. They care for and ensure ease of travel. And then we map these places, we explore these places, we find our shared history.
I see.
And like the sounds of the camp have died quite a bit.
So you have sold out, even though this machine you know to be wrong and unbelonging of here.
We do not know what they are doing.
And she calmly explains the entire thing.
So Petrichor Mage explains to them.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And like the God Machine, what it's intended to do, probably not like the history of what you guys have been up to, just the machine.
No. Kind of description of the thing they want to put in it.
Ooh, yes. And of heartache.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, it goes from being that like tense quiet to the like thoughtful quiet, and like work has stopped. People have started to gather around as Petrichor tells her tale.
And for once, she's not like putting on a show with her story.
Okay.
It is just plain and simple and just
no embellishment.
It's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Is less about a performance and more of, do they believe you? You do have truth on your side, so I'm going to give you a +1 on that.
Seems like a good thing for another willpower.
Sure. 2 successes.
You take those.
Yep. And yeah, I think especially with the lack of embellishment and the just straightforward, these are the facts. I'm already telling you stuff that you probably already know, but I'm connecting some stuff with knowledge that I have, and stuff lines up real clean, It's an advantage when you tell the truth. And they shift and they go, well, Aiden leans in and says, then you're going to undo what they're doing.
In some way, as much as possible.
So what I'm
As
hearing,
strong as I am and my friends are, I don't know that we can actually destroy it.
I think there's some snickers from the more muscle-brained members of the gang who are looking at fairly thin, muscled but not beefy, gal with some six guns and wings. It's like, yeah, okay. But Aiden says, so I don't think that we and you have a problem.
Good to know.
I don't think in good conscience, that we can aid you.
I see.
But kind of looks to some of the others, and there's the little nods. This is not the only border march that we have mapped.
I see.
There are 3 others that we've already visited and mapped out
Dug
as
something up.
some have been successful digs. Others we simply mapped.
What are they getting out of it?
A map, locations, places, I guess, that are appropriate for their work, and they are all hidden. We are usually the only people, Uratha, that we see. And within here, very few spirits or living creatures. Some, kind of kicks at some like tired looking grass. Life still lives here, but it is quiet and shallow.
Yes, it's a it's very intriguing, sort of philosophically, that we are inside of the gauntlet.
And he kind of makes a head wobble, and some others who look like they're also philosophically minded say, I don't know that we're in the gauntlet so much as we are in a section of what became the gauntlet, the space between. We've and like you can see like some other like hands come up and some people, and you realize, oh god, I am surrounded by the nerd werewolves.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And some very like, you've kicked the hornet's nest, and like here's the discussion, and like Aiden like puts his hands up and it's like, we do not derail the conversation. This used to be what became the gauntlet, and then there are sections of this. This is one of the larger ones. Some of the others are a couple city blocks. And they vary. We have found some remnants, and he fishes in his pocket and pulls out like a series of teeth on a leather, what might be like a necklace. The leather looks new. The teeth look old and like enormous. And we have found remnants and things of the old ways before the father fell, and which I guess actually for Petrichor, with no mythological understanding, the father and the father are two very different things in this context.
I think she like says that. She's like, "What do you mean he fell? No, he ascended."
Oh no, we bore him to the ground and killed him. and we have the moment where we realize, oh, okay, wait, who is not on first? And you guys hacked that out real fast.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Yes, so Father Wolf, separate from the exarch, the father.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Especially because in First Tongue, why would you say anything other than the father? Yeah. But yeah, we have remnants of things that we made, and weapons or fetishes, things of the old. Is that the term that they use for? Yeah, they use the same term, right? Yeah, that are from a long time ago. So we have learned some things, and they have learned some things, and the partnership was mutually beneficial, but
She like tosses the Alphoth gun to whoever's like explaining fetishes. You mean like that?
and like there's the grab and the like, and it gets passed around. Everybody's looking at this because it looks like just a 6 gun. Because, well, actually, I think you said you had some like mage embellishments on it, right? Yeah. But it doesn't look like how they would embellish up and do an item, and it gets passed around. And I'm sure you had that like 6th sense of keep track of my gun. But yeah, it gets all the way around to Aiden, and pass back to you as the conversation continues. Something like that, yes.
Right.
Ours are empty, of course, because actually no, I guess without essence. Yeah, so some of them would still have spirits in them because they wouldn't have been able to gather essence, right?
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, so we have things from the old times. I mean, much as there are many spirits from the old times we can converse with, but they have differing memories, and the loons.
Yeah, the little creature that I caught on the way in.
And there are other things that are caught and stuck here.
See,
this place seems to be stationary.
and that's a good place for their work.
But going from mutually beneficial to now feeling like we have been played. So kind of looks at the cabins. We may finish our work here and then find that
your contract is not renewed.
Exactly that. If you were to wander about this place a bit more, and then he just kind of trails off and kind of gives a wink. But we will be here. We have found, in kind of motions over towards where the tents are, and you realize that these are not like tents to live in. These are like how the Egyptian archaeologists would set up a tent over where they're working and trying to pull stuff out. We will continue here, but we won't get in your way if you wish to explore more of this area.
Thank you so much for allowing my trespass to go unpunished.
Nods. Well, we not often visited by incarnate in mortal form. And like there's the clear like we want to ask what you are, but you haven't asked what we are, so feels impolite, right? And yeah, I'm a traveler named Petrichor. What? Just one of those things of the world.
She just kind of reads all of that and just goes, I am either stronger or weaker than those you have met. Those you work for. Depending on who it is you are in contact with.
And like finds like a canteen or something and offers it in toast and says, here's to hoping that you are stronger. Travel well, Petrichor.
You're welcome to tell them I was here, by the way.
And like there's some grins and nods of like that confidence, and they're like, okay, we'll do that.
Just damn near pissing on something to mark her territory.
I love it.
Cool. And just like that, she will whoosh off.
To the sky. It does not take long for you to, especially having gotten a couple hints and then having found the roof of the world already, to realize what you can see is not necessarily what you can reach.
Right.
It's this little chunk of stuff, and what you see beyond is go ahead.
Are the boundaries of it metaphysical or physical? Or does it matter here?
Here, I don't know that it matters. This would be so it's basically the limit of it would be the limit of space within here. Beyond, you can see some things, but it's like I'll be a little meta and just explain. It is what you could see
if you
back then when it was plopped down. But as kind of hinted at, time doesn't seem to move here. This is just this little chunk of space and time. And that's why your little buddy there hasn't aged.
Mm-hmm.
He's just here. I think with a little bit of because you do have it time. There's no passage of time here. People can move around and do stuff, but time doesn't seem to pass. You haven't gotten hungry. Like the realization, I had all that talk and I'm fine. I don't feel.
But like fire burns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, like forces
life stuff doesn't happen, but forces does.
And that's one of those funny things that I've never been clear on, because like what is it Shield of Kronos? Or one of the other ones that basically just stops things from progressing.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, she like morphs her head and ears into a bit more bat-like and starts using like echolocation to make sure she doesn't slam into a fucking wall. Oh,
okay. Yeah, I guess that would absolutely work, because it literally can't transmit through. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to do it. But yeah, it's pretty easy to kind of sort through, and it does appear to be a perfect half sphere, and then your realization is it probably continues underground. And yeah, the space here is pretty large. But now that you are aware of, like, you have some boundaries and you know kind of your height, so it's, we'll probably say about 2,000 uh feet wide. So it's a large chunk, but it's not enormous. Spotting them had been pretty easy. That's true. I guess you were 1,000 feet up from the elevated Grand Canyon. So,
It probably goes quite deep.
correct. But yeah, you do your swoop, your patrol through, and you do not spot any other people moving about. And it ends up basically being, naturally, mage sight that kind of pulls at you, and you drop down to a not so naturally formed clearing. Like, it looks like a space where brush and debris has been kind of pushed away, and amongst the kind of sandy gravel, you can make out an iron seal made as if somebody had used matter to just precisely move some bits, and you feel something inside that space, and there is little, I would kind of threads that kind of reach out, and you can't see them so much as feel them. I realize I had described this as the barrier as well, but this would be a different sensation, just so we're not conflating the two. But these little tendrils that are coming out from like a center column, if like the iron seal was this pillar, and these little things that are kind of draping off of it and touching, this discarded tree branch, this large boulder, and some of them, like, once you come across one, and like that one broke very, very easily, and then another feels a little bit thicker and like would be harder to break, but like there's some give to it, and it's something that's out of your physical sight. Actually, hang on, yeah. Trying to imagine what it would look like for Petrichor with her particular mage sights.
So I'm probably missing a couple key ones.
Yep. On the plus side, it is tied in with fate.
True made an unsolvable puzzle for me.
Not unsolvable. I mean, at the end of the day, you did the plan, which was find them, or you found one and have an idea of where others might be. Yeah. So from your perspective, you have no, like, all your mage sights turn on, and you have a whole bunch of like, I'm not seeing anything here, but you can tell because of mage sight, and in my head, the use of mana, like, you can make out the shape of a thing, and it doesn't correspond to any of your arcana. I'll probably go so far as to give you a gimme in the fact that it seems tied to, surprise, surprise, space and prime. There's a little bit of fate in there, but I don't think it would have like a real visual thing. But yeah, it's like there's some kind of pillar or enormous thing coming down to or up from that iron seal and reaching out and touching to all sorts of other things here in this chunk of border march. And as you like watch and look at it, and you realize that there's now a little tendril attached to one of your boots and your hat. And like it's very easy to break. You just move your foot away and pull it to its limit, and just kind of snaps away. These very, while you have been here, very spider web thin little connection points. But some of the other stuff closer, or perhaps there in the center, you can make out what it's connected to all the little pebbles, and some of the closer stuff, like it's spreading and reaching out and finding more and more things to connect to and anchor itself further and further.
Everything here is partially made of spirit.
Everything here appears physical, like as opposed to in the shadow, where everything is a manifestation of spirit and essence.
I see. Then I will simply
Just to remind Jesse, because it has been a bit since we had the conversation with the architect. The goal here is just to locate them and see if there is a way to find these in the future, because the point is to locate as many as can be found so they can all be destroyed at the same time.
I see.
Just because Petrichor making a rash decision is absolutely fine. Jesse making one due to miscommunication or anything, I don't want.
Mm-hmm. The time already doesn't pass here.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's really not anything I can do at this moment.
Mm-hmm. And just to go ahead and give Jesse a little information, you can interact with, and like some of the strands and tendrils and stuff that are here, you can swat at them and break them. So that clearly like works. Like you could physically walk around the seal and detach it from stuff, but then it starts to grow and right. So like if Jesse does do a little walk around the iron seal without crossing into it, all the stuff that was reached outside of the seal would, when she leaves, will be untouched, but it will, yes, continue to grow and kind of restart its progress.
How big is this?
The iron seal like marker on the ground is, how big's my rug? I think 4 feet across. It's not a huge thing.
I think she would try and use a time spell to try and like blink it out.
Yeah, so like temporal shutter and just like throw it forward some amount of time. Can't remember how far. Veil of Moments was the spell I was thinking of, where like you don't heal. Momentary alerts, blah 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 blah. By adding space, still brings him back at the destination. So we want what based on duration. Yeah. So how long do you want to fling it forward?
A year.
Okay. Cool. And that's as long as you don't relinquish it. It's also something that you can be like, okay, you can come back now, snap your fingers,
Yeah,
and suddenly it's
exactly.
here. Cool. Can you describe the subject/area of the spell?
Um, a sphere around the iron sphere, the iron seal.
Okay.
That.
Just like 4.5 feet wide.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, not a problem. Obviously, and I know Jesse knows this, but I'm saying it for the audience and the fun cliffhanger that comes with it. Obviously, this is a spell in your control that if anybody comes and checks on this, will be like, hang on. But I know Jesse and Petrichor don't have any problem with that because you can tell them I visited.
I just told, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Just told them.
Yep.
I'm gonna go here and be on this thing.
I shunted this forward a year. You little bastards better have time or prime, I guess. Yeah. No. No, they can't. You're an archmage.
Prime can get it. It's not a Clash of Wills.
No, but I think Prime is literally archmage spells are literally called out as not being something that you can dispel with supernal dispellation. Hang on, I gotta pull this up. Supernal dispellation. This spell is not potent enough to dispel archmage's spells. That's what I thought. Yeah. I'm taking your ball and going home. Bring your own archmage if you want to get rid of this. Yeah. Cool. I dig it. It's still there. If anybody checks in on, hey, is this thing still alive? Technically, yes. By some definitions of still around. Oh, I love this. I'm going to have to make new notes, though.
Oh?
I love Mage. It's like, oh, here's some stuff. I'm like, I'm absolutely set for like if somebody decides, you know what, screw it. I'm going to see what happens if I cut it. What happens if I mess with where it's founded? I threw it forward a year. I don't know what that would do metaphysically. I mean, there's other.
My idea was that it's just like cutting it off for.
Yeah,
like stopping it from growing because that's what these tendrils seem like. So
correct. Yes. Yeah. Like that's going to happen. I'm just like, will there be any reprisal? Will there be any? I don't know how this might respond. I'm going to have to review all my other like.
So is it my year or is it a year here? Because if time doesn't pass here, then.
Oh God, time stuff sucks. I guess it would be a. Subjective. Yeah. Excuse me. Objective. Yes, correct. Objective. 365 days calculated out, but by hours because like we're not outside of time. Like you have conversations and stuff. So yeah, 365 days worth of Uratha campfire stories and whatever time passes. It just doesn't. Oh, yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, 365 days. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be fun as I review this video and I edit it down and I have to figure out how this does things. It might not do anything. Maybe it just won't end up doing anything overt. And it'll just be, here's one anchor that hasn't grown for. I mean, heck, it's very unlikely that you guys let all these sit for a year anyways. So, yeah, that's true. I'm overcomplicating things. You guys are going to kick some doors in and blow shit up. Very good. So having peed on the Iron Seal anchor god machine bullshit, what would Petrichor like to do next?
Um, maybe this is just a satisfying Jesse's curiosity, but
Sure.
can she grant renown to the wolves?
Where is my Imperial book? Because I don't think you got the juice for that yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I know that tier up from where you're at now is way more. Oh, that's emanations. Here we go. 6 dots, where 7 dots is entities. What do you say about spirit? Yeah, so you would need the next tier up because they use as an example altering werewolf templates,
I see.
gifts and lodges.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, invent and grant new
Lodges? That's insane.
Yep, and gifts. Yeah, which you're altering gifts and altering properties, but invent and grant new spiritual noumena, which I'm like, is there much of a difference between spiritual noumena and gifts? Because, I mean, mechanically they are, but narratively, they're kind of close. Spend essence to do thing. I don't know.
Fair.
But yeah, okay. Because also at 7 dots is the practice of excision, which allows you to remove aspects, destroying the gauntlet, removing a spirit's bane. Yep. Yeah, I think at 7 dots you could start being a patron of the local Uratha.
Yeah.
Oh no, what have I done?
Drew, can I have 5-6 experience max?
Oh,
I can be trusted.
Yeah. Never mind. I almost made a comment that would have been inappropriate and too soon. Songbird. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Rookery, you should go watch it. Anyways, don't trust Jesse with extra dots of Arcana. You never know what's going to happen. Good stuff. Okay. So yeah, with
she just leaves.
Okay, good stuff.
She waves.
Yeah, little flyby,
and
and then out and coming back from there into the shadow. The other place had color, it had light, though the sun was very kind of like nebulous and off as if behind clouds. And then coming into the shadow and the riot of color and life that is that it's just it's Dorothy going from black and white to color. It's a much better thing. You hear the rumblings of the Grand Canyon as you zoom off by. I imagine there's some polite hello, yes, thank you, that was helpful, and then moving on. But I feel like this would be back to the clan, back to the coven. I don't know why I said clan. Because we were talking about werewolves. No, werewolves have tribes. Who has clans?
Nobody.
Vampires?
No, those are coteries.
Those are the groups. You have bloodlines. Ventru clan? Anyways. Don't anybody start reading into that and thinking I'm planning something. Don't do that. Okay. But yes, returning back to the coven.
Am I?
Oh, No? Where are we headed?
I mean, are there more of these places?
Yeah, there's quite a few more.
Okay, I want to try something at one of them.
Absolutely. Oh, I was going to ask, how do you find one? Time. Some more
Also, they
divination.
told me where to go.
That's true. They had mentioned other ones. Yeah, you definitely could have gotten the locations of other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig that.
They basically invited me to go look where they had already been,
Mhm.
so I assume they would tell me.
Sorry, my Aiden's little wink thing was like, oh, there's definitely something to find here. They've been here,
Right.
but yes, absolutely, they would have if you had asked. Definitely
Right.
provided the other locations they have found, and they're all over the globe. The ones that they have visited have all been in the U.S. so far, but they have
Let's see.
other places that they're supposed to be going and checking out. And there's also the suggestion, and I don't think anybody needs this said, but I will say it just so it's clear. There's probably other werewolves that have been hired for similar job.
Great.
So yeah, you fly from the Grand Canyon. Well, do you want to go northeast or west?
East.
Okay. Yeah. You continue flying kind of across the south of what will become the United States of America, and make your way out into greener territories and out towards uh, the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, all of the places that Aiden mentions are old as fuck
Old as
places.
fuck, yeah.
And yes,
Makes sense.
into the Appalachian Mountains, and following a couple landmarks, which are a lot easier to follow in the shadow because you have spirits that you can look for, and even ask for directions. And yes, in amongst the Appalachian Mountains, in the old forests, on the mountains that are so old they've started to come down, as opposed to those, young whippersnappers, the
Upstairs.
Rockies. Yep. There is a similar hole, and stitched in to basically a cleft in a rock. This one is much smaller, and Petrograssa kind of turns sideways and sidle into it. And the space beyond is similar. It is this kind of grayer world, and it's, I don't know, size of a good sized warehouse.
Great.
Like, just even looking in here, well, I guess you wouldn't be able to immediately tell that it's the size of a large warehouse, but Aiden probably told you. But it's heavy tree and old forest kind of stuff. Lots of shrub, lots of brush, lots of stuff that hasn't been cleared away by fire in millennia. And it takes
Same thing
some.
with time here, or
It is the same kind of sensation. It is the same border march, little bubble, this little cut off, this little excess, this little hang. Like, what this is, you'll probably need to go ask some more nerdy type mage, but it's just kind of leftover thing, like the gristle after a meal, right? This just like detritus,
right.
in the shadow. But yes, same kind of thing. And then moving through here, being a little more on the stealthy, careful side, and also a lot more difficult to fly. So having to do it on foot. You can find another one similar to the one at the Grand Canyon. It is definitely on the far side, away from the entrance. But yes, there is, and this one looks like some Blair Witch shit, right? Because the ground has been cleared, and the iron seal has been done in burn grass, and it's far more visible than lines in sand, and it has that same effect. Though, even getting into that clearing before you even reach it, you start to feel you brushing into some of these tendrils. This thing has grown and is probably one of the older ones that they would have done. And you can see the iron seal over there, but you can't even get into the clearing for all the stuff that is there in front of you. This thing has clearly grown out beyond it. Based off Aiden's suggestion, they had mapped this place last year, kind of giving you a general idea of how fast it grows.
Okay.
So it's same size iron seal of 4 foot, and then you can't even get in maybe 10 feet wide. Yeah, that it's grown out to.
Can I, with spirit magic, see out of here? If I'm sort of in what is the gauntlet, can I see to both sides?
Yeah. I was thinking of how that would look for you when you cast the spell. That normal imago, yeah, let me just see the other side of the gauntlet. You cast the spell, and then it's going, okay, but which side?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, hang on, let me redo that. Okay, I want to look this way, I want to look that way.
Okay. I want to start a fire.
Okay.
You said that nothing's burned here in a long time, right? So the underbrush is ripe for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still green, but yeah, it's going to spread once it starts. Mm-hmm.
Just Appalachians, they'll burn.
Yep.
Like, cool. She's gonna basically start a wildfire.
Within this
like,
border march area.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just like with fire and a little bit of forces to get it pumped. And then she's back out near the entrance, and I want to target both sides of the gauntlet.
Okay.
And see if I can crush it. I want to shrink the gauntlet.
Oh, you want to crush the border march space?
Mm-hmm. Like how you can thin out the gauntlet with the spell, right?
Yeah.
I'm fully okay with any consequences that come from this. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Playing with you, Jesse, is wonderful. You and Ralph both. I'm gonna do this thing, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what happens. Yeah.
Either fucks it up a little bit, or it shunts into one side or the other, and maybe is more discoverable.
No, I think you had the right idea. Because I have had in my head this mental picture of there's the gauntlet, and then here's this border march bubble, and the gauntlet is kind of passing on to either side of it, and you can see into either the shadow or the material, and you're just going, okay, let's just go ahead and collapse that, and Gesundheit. And it is destroyed. Yeah, you basically squeeze the gauntlet down, and effectively, as you step out, um, see the hole seal up. You can literally, that funky little static that's there in that cleft of the rock just goes. Zzz. Um, or excuse me, I should say it is sealed.
Mhm.
Whether or not it is actually crushed and destroyed, from your perspective, you cannot tell, but you cannot detect it within the gauntlet.
Right.
It is entirely possible that you've just created a little pocket dimension, but in that case, it is no longer connected to the shadow and the rest of
Mm.
everything. It's just congratulations. The God Machine has an attachment to a weird leftover
A
from
place that was.
yeah. Yeah.
And she will, right next to where that whole patch in the wall is,
Mhm.
honestly, she'll just like pull out her like big like knife
Mhm.
and just carve a petrichor like symbol
Supernal. Yeah.
next to
High
it. Yeah.
speech. Yeah.
Yeah.
Petrichor was here. Yep. Petrichor just throwing down all the gauntlets. Meet me outside. Yeah. I dig it. Yeah. Man, it turns out there's a flaw in the plan of the serpents. I like that you found it.
Thanks. In my head, not in like petrichor's imago,
Mhm.
but in my head, it's like the like the like triple pane glass where you can shatter the middle layer
Yes, and so you
and
have
the outer
nice
layers
clean.
will hold it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
that's
kind of
essentially like what she kind of did.
yeah. That's kind of my thought. Yeah, if you had like vision inside, you could confirm. But yeah, at least for now, you can't get to it, and somebody with space might be able to teleport to it, but it's still often detached the same way any other um, thing out there might be. It's not giving the God Machine purchase and a place to reach out to and connect to other stuff, and give it influence into the world. So um, different plan than what was decided, but same effect.
Yeah.
Petrichor.
She does probably call it from there.
Mhm.
Like she doesn't like go on a rampage of this.
Right, because
Um,
if they discover this one and
right.
realize that there's a problem, then. But if they do discover this one, be like, "Yep, I'm coming for you," and send them into a tizzy. I dig it.
Yeah.
Um, Also, thank you for having mercy. It's like Petrichor handles about like a quarter of the end game in the last 20 minutes of an episode. Speed run this shit. No, that's perfect. Fuck. Yep. And I can this is one of those things, folks at home, like as a storyteller, you have to like go toe to toe with like you versus all your other players. It's one of the things I like about these episodes, where it's just like, no,
One
here's
on
this
one.
thing, and I have outsmarted you. Fuck yeah, you did. Damn, everything within the rules. Now I'm the GM. I'm the storyteller. No, that doesn't. No, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, Now, of course, this just
Sort
means
of
I come up with different consequences, but
just sort of throwing my queen way down in the end game, being like, "Go ahead, mate in two."
yep. I'll do it. Let's go. Oh man. Very good. So Petrichor, probably pretty damn proud of herself, takes the air and flies. Actually, why? You can just go there. Just
Yeah.
archmage
Yeah. She
it.
just blinks.
Yep. Yep. Pop into the Golden Road, reform myself at my domain, and step out of my hole in the ground. It's like, man, that was easy. Why did everybody make a big deal about this?
Seems good to me.
Yep. Uh Very good. And then depending on everybody else. Well, you go and meet up with the coven, and I will make note of date and time, and we'll find out who all is also here.
Yeah, I think she was like excited to talk to Cloak about this because she's like, wait, hold on, I think I just understood space for the first time.
I think I got a space thing here. I think I have a dot of space now. Yeah.
Let's not say anything crazy.
Yeah, it's true. Very good. Very good. Yeah, well, when you all see Jesse next, we'll be all together. This is the end of the Jesse trilogy, though of course you probably already know that because they're all happening. So at this point there's well, I was gonna say 2 more, but no, that's us recording 2 more. I don't know, maybe Jesse's the very last one and you guys could be the first, but I'm like, maybe this is the one where we reveal.
If I'm meeting up with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. YouTube, you probably actually have a better idea than we do. Man, I love that. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Jesse, thank you for playing. Unfortunately, Jesse now has to sit and wait for a month and a half as I get through the other players who have also been waiting. So, yeah, some downsides. You guys thought your scheduling was bad. I'm making them all wait like 2 months to play. Yeah. But thank you. Folks at home, come join us on Discord, www.yeetinto.space. Come chat with us. Tell us what you think. If you have any bright ideas for what actually happened to that chunk of Border March, come let us know in Discord or YouTube comments. You can do that too. And if you want to support us monetarily, that's www.staylucky.club. I almost said the Patreon one again. And we'll see you next time.